Thank you for tuning into another edition of Jive Time Turkeys. I'm at A Prince 15 on Twitter, Jive Time Turkeys on YouTube and Instagram. In this episode, I'm joined by.
You here? You going first? You here, brother?
It's S. Doc Carter, H-Town resident. I'm still alive around this mother. Yeah, man.
Yeah. One time for
Indeed. One time for shit. Several times for that. And you know what's happening, sideline guy. You know, I'm checking in with the homies, checking in with the turkeys. You know what I'm saying? We in here. For sure. Oh,
So-
odyseeds.com. You know what I'm saying? You hear this? We got a drop in the collection. Sorry, early plug.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, we got odyseeds.com, you know, shop. You know, it's the brand you love. You did. That's all. I ain't gonna get too much more than that.
We'll start off with the NBA. The Nets and the Lakers are playing. As a matter of fact, they literally just ended the first quarter. The Nets are without KD. The Lakers are without AD. So the Nets are winning by 7, 31-24. The Lakers are also without Schroeder. He's in protocols, so we don't know what that means. Yeah, I just saw it just like 5 minutes ago. So I don't know. I didn't read the article. I just saw he's in protocols. So probably not the marquee matchup that the league would have wanted, but I mean, when you got 3 of the 5 stars that you would have, it's a decent game. I think they will get decent ratings.
Yeah, I forgot it was on, so I'm about to watch it. Man, my bad about that. Yeah, I just you said like, oh yeah, they all play. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, at first, I mean, the Nets are coming off their. Some people called it their biggest win of the season when they came back to beat the Suns. They were down, I'm gonna say 15 going into the fourth. I stopped watching it. Like I was like, oh, all right, this shit over. Okay.
Oh yeah, a little over real. You really thought it was
the Suns was so like it, that's why when I looked back and saw that the Nets came back, I was like, all right, no Kyrie, Harden wasn't really hitting. The Suns were doing what they needed to do, and then even like they made a run in the third quarter, and then the Suns pushed it back to 15 because Chris Paul was just like, all right, I'm gonna hit these big buckets that the team need, and we gonna keep y'all at arm's length. So I was like, all right, they got it. The Nets don't have anybody. They go chalk this up to a scheduled L. The game before the Lakers, Kyrie not playing, no KD, Harden still figuring everybody out. And then I look up and it's like 128, 124. I'm like, what the hell happened? But they said it was their best win. They played a lot of defense. I mean, at this point, I don't know what else we could say. Like, they go be in the finals unless, like, something happens. Because they're 10-1 against teams above 500. Yeah, 10-1, which means they know when it's time to play what to do. If you 10-1 against the top teams and they second in the East right now, that means the teams they losing to, they not gonna play in the playoffs. So I don't know, like, which I got to say on that one. I mean,
ain't this is what we expected, right? We kind of shocked by what we expected to happen anyway. I'm pretty sure, they were going to figure it out because, KD and Harden played together before. And Kyrie and KD played together. So I think unlike other times when big threes have linked up, the familiarity with them already being there together with each other at certain points made it a lot easier for them to catch this little stride. I don't think it's completely over, but yeah, I mean, I think Harden went off that fourth quarter. Not like just shooting, but like everything. Like he was like, oh yeah, I remember playing the Suns. Let me do my thing real quick, and caught them up real quick. So that was before my TV and power went off.
to your point of not only them playing together before, I think all of them being later in their careers has helped as well. Because like except for Harden, like Kyrie and KD have rings. And I think that brings a sort of calmness rather than if all three of them were trying to chase rings.
I don't know, because what was that? Barkley. When Barkley went with the Rockets, that wasn't. They was all later in their career too, and Barkley was the only one that hadn't won his
Right.
ring.
And he was kind of like the main vocal one, whereas like Harden is not. I mean, except for this last time when he wanted to get out of Houston, he don't really make waves with his talking. He just kind of go play. And
Nah,
whereas like,
because that's why him and that's why CP3 got into it, because he talked, man. Like you watch the Nets game, he like runs the huddles and stuff. Like he
no.
talks.
I meant talk to the media.
Ah, yeah.
Whereas like Barkley was gonna make a stink in the media. I don't know. I mean, you are right that didn't work out as well. Even though I contend that first year they were who the fuck hit that
Good
three?
though.
Was that John
They were good.
Stockton?
Yeah, I think it was
They were a
Stockton.
John
Well, let me
Stockton
check.
way, a 3 away in Game 7 from getting to the finals.
Was it
So
Hornet check? No, maybe it was Stockton.
I think
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
Stockton.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it ultimately didn't work, but they got damn close that first year. Um, I personally am not worried about the Anthony Davis injury uh, at this time because he has time to rest. Now, if this was last week of the regular season, then we talking about something different. But I mean,
How long is he out?
they said they go reevaluate in 2 to 3 weeks, which means they want to see when the swelling go down and make sure there wasn't nothing torn or if it's a minor tear. I think they just rest him. Like we not gonna fuck up this Achilles. Like you can sit down. So all I got to
Didn't they
say
do the
is
same? Didn't Golden State do the same thing with Kevin Durant that one time?
yeah. But that leads me to my next statement. I'm glad we got that one last year because woo, this one, like you said, man, they did this with Kevin Durant, even though it was in the playoffs, so things might have been a little bit more compact. But oh man, you get these glimmers of Achilles and calf muscles, and all those things are kind of like in the same area. So again, I'm glad we got that one last year because had we not and this happened, woo, woo, that pressure would be up there.
So if AD's out, is the Nets the favorites now?
Yes. If AD's out, I don't see who can beat the Nets 4 out of 7 times in the league.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
I just don't. I don't see anyone who has a defense to even match up. Like, and offensively, you can't have enough weapons to attack them where it like hurts them on offense. Like, all right, even if you play the Sixers, hey, you only got one Ben Simmons. Like, he can only guard one of those three. And Embiid ain't gonna be out there guard nobody. And so like you got to try to hide and beat on somebody. And if they want to be smart and just run pick and roll, because either A and B is going to get tired, or B you go get them in foul trouble, it'll minimize because they'll put Brent Brown or Jeff Green on Embiid, and cool. All right, Embiid, you got 40 points, but nobody else is eating because you just attacking that. Again, I just don't see 4 out of 7 times. And like the only reason I see it for the Lakers is because AD is a equally unstoppable problem for the Nets, and he can actually play against KD. So if AD is out, then go ahead, pack that shit up, dog. Now let me ask you this though: if the Nets do pull this off and they win, and KD would then now be part of two teams that we have been like, damn, they really kind of like might be unbeatable. And he's the common link between them both. Does that change his legacy?
Does it make it better? You know how I feel about the legacy. Does it make it better? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just asking a question because I mean, if the Nets win, that he will, but all of those things would have been fact. And I mean,
I don't think this move is as bad as the last one. So it will. I mean, KD's a great player. We're not mad at him for being a great player. It's just the decision he made to move to another team that made it look kind of cheesy. Like KD, if LeBron is 1, KD is 1C or something like that. Like he's right there. Not better than LeBron, but he's right there. So it's not like his image is going to get tarnished. Like it
ain't gonna tarnish him. And I don't from the sideline. I see what you're saying. Like, does it make him be like because those two teams were dynamic because of him? But it's still like, and it might be just be unfair. Like, we always struggle at. Like it's unfair.
It was his struggle.
No. I know. Struggle. I get it. Struggle was in the.
Like, did y'all watch the OKC years? Like, what do you mean?
But it's kind of like I get that. But it's kind of like then you should have won with that struggle. And then, like, no. First off, I know what I'm saying. No. I'm only playing Whitey's advocate. I'm only playing the media. I'm just playing the media. That's all I'm doing. Like, hey, KD's the man. Woo. No issues. But I do understand if someone goes, like, you ain't really struggled for it. He did. He struggled a lot of times in OKC. That's why he left. But it's kind of like, it's only about tradition. You're supposed to do that and win there, and then you go. Or you do what the other guy did, was you struggled, you left, you learn, you come back, and you avenge yourself. Like, if he goes back to the Thunder and wins, then it's like, but if he just does it ride around on East, the Western, and then the East Coast All-Stars, it's like, cool, but it's an All-Star team. So,
oh, man.
No. Alphonse, again, this is not me speaking.
No. I get what you're saying. I'm laughing because, like, the reason.
These are the holes he has to fill, right?
The whole question of there was no struggle. Like, people forget OKC.
Yes,
is why he left OKC.
But you gotta. But that's what I'm saying. You can't.
He didn't win that struggle though. He didn't win that struggle though.
See what Steve just said. Yeah, that's the problem.
Just
that's
like when LeBron went back to Cleveland, his status took an extra little skip jump. Like, and he went back to Cleveland and won.
Yeah. Oh shit! See,
that's really like. So LeBron was great before that, but
right.
He went back to Cleveland because Cleveland was home. This nigga don't got no time.
No. We not mad how the story is written. It's still a story though. The story is still he's. I mean, what you're saying is only solidifying why we say it's a greater story. He's the hometown hero. He had to go do a journey and find himself and rediscovery and come on back. It's a better story than I just wouldn't go ride with the.
It wasn't to tarnish. It was just looking at it like, I mean, the best player on 2 undefeatable teams that I think we all could agree wouldn't be unbeatable without him.
But Alpha, it's kind of like watching Superman. He never gets hurt. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to do that because, like, you're supposed to be. If you're the greatest player, you're supposed to go to this all-star team and make it impossible, and then you can replicate. Like, I get that. Like, that's cool, but it's not fun to watch. It's like that's why people hate the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Back in those, like, bruh, like, come on, like.
I don't know. Like, those Warrior teams were pretty fun to watch for me. They were pretty fun to watch.
No, but I'm saying from a legacy. No. But I'll watch real quick. But we saw that growth, right? We saw the struggle that they had earlier. Then we saw the Mark Jackson, and then we saw the new coach, and like we saw that trajectory. But with him, he just got supplanted into the story. So from a Warriors perspective, like cool to watch. Like, oh yeah, I remember they like the Splash Brothers, and they were just 2, and I got more friends. It's a greater story for the Warriors. But for KD, it's like, you the White Ranger, bro. Of course, when the White Ranger comes on a TV show, you're supposed to kick everybody's ass. You're supposed to. But I like the Black Ranger, the pink one, the yellow one, who was in the struggles before you popped up with your flute. It's that type of view of it. It's like
maybe we just different because that was the Green Ranger. The way your timeline was fine because the Green Ranger eventually became the White Ranger. I say all that to say, I fucked with the White Ranger. Like, fuck them other niggas. Like, y'all motherfuckers was kind of whack. I fucked with the White Ranger. So maybe that's why I'm partial to this.
I mean, you're a Cowboys fan. And that speaks to, like, you like dominance and, like, just, I mean, you were a Cowboys fan during when it was, the height of when they're doing stuff like, come on, y'all gonna get Deion too? You gonna get Deion too? Okay, like it's that type of, you love that shit because you're a Cowboys fan. Like that's what we do.
It's hard as
like,
shit to do. It's hard as shit to dominate. I can respect it. I can respect
I'm just saying, appreciate when other folks like, yo, you gotta struggle like, I don't know, the Panthers, both in NFL and real life. Yeah, you gotta have a struggle. Cowboys is like, I mean, yeah, if you sign Emmitt Smith, I mean,
now look at this. Huh? Now look at this.
Oh yeah, I dig it. No, I dig it. Yeah, no, for sure. No, but once, wait. As soon as they leave Brooklyn, what's gonna happen with the Brooklyn Nets? They're gonna be the Brooklyn Nets again. Same thing.
Yeah, they're gonna be trash.
Trash.
So
woo, they better go ahead.
Speaking of that, this is a good lead into Draymond Green's comments. What was that, Monday night? About player movement, player empowerment. He just said it was a double standard where like teams are sitting Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond to figure out if they're gonna, buy him out or trade him. And his point was players don't get to do that. Players have to come out and play. I felt him on some regards. I think he used the wrong piece of Blake for Blake Griffin. It would have been better if he used like him getting traded to Detroit from the Clippers 6 months after signing a long-term deal there. That would have been a better play for his argument. I think right now, like, I'm pretty sure Andre Drummond doesn't mind having to go out there and play for the Cavs right now if they get ready to try to get him to a contender. I'm sure he's not complaining. But what do you guys think of his overall point about how, and I guess, do you think he was talking more to the fans and the media, or was he legit trying to change something within an organizational structure?
Go ahead, Steve.
I just think he was talking just to be saying stuff. To be really honest with you, I just think he was talking, man. Just like, I think he might have some contract things coming up too. So, but yeah, I understand what he was saying. I think a little bit is to help you as a fan understand why players are so adamant about having more control with their contracts and what's going on with their stuff, where it's not like, the old guard can pit the current stars and players against the fans and be like, look at this guy. He's so selfish. He wants to do this, like with James Harden. I mean, it's a business. I mean, they get to treat it like a business. So why can't the players treat it like a business? So.
Well, I think he's doing all of it. I think he was doing the play where you try to appeal to those who will be mostly on your side, right? Hopefully that galvanizes some sort of change. It won't cause money, but with the structure. Like he says it alone, I think he's saying it to first call out the hypocrisy in the media from his perspective. Garner some people who might go, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Now I'm on the players, more so on the players' side. That thus will maybe shift and hope the structure changes. Essentially it's a rock thrown up against a building, but at least he threw a stone, right? That's my thing. It's like, because if more folks throw the stones, that's when it's a real problem. Like one, like Steve said, he might just tell he's just throwing rocks. Essentially, that's all he's doing, right? It could be some self-interest, but what you need is more people to get on the rhythm of let's all throw rocks at the same time. That's when it's kind of like, all right, we got to at least go confront them, right? Because for them just to brush it off, like the reality of it was when I saw it, and I didn't read the clip of it, and I watched it, I didn't click on it, but what it said was, it pretty much was like, yeah, to Easter Rome. Like the response was, yeah, yeah, to Easter Rome. So it's like, it's still a structure where it's like, you got to throw a little harder next time if you want to do something. But I do applaud him throwing it, because maybe the next player was like, yeah, this is what I was talking about based off what Draymond was saying. Remember what Draymond was saying? This is happening right now to me. So then that person has to say as much, because they could say reference Draymond in relation to other. Like, so so what Steve says is true. He's just throwing a rock. But I like throwing rocks and shit. So
I forgot what I was listening to, but this is kind of to this point. So I was listening to, it was a podcast that Richard Jefferson was on, and apparently he's friends with people that are good friends with Jared Goff, and they said that the Rams were telling Jared Goff and Jared Goff's agent that Jared Goff was cool to the point where Jared Goff was buying a house. He was looking at a house while all of this was going down. And but see, that's but now how does the media play if Jared Goff comes out and shares that information and says it's fucked up?
I get it. Yes.
No, I mean,
it's the business.
I don't know because I haven't really heard white players come out and say that like that's fucked up. They just kind of
they got a code. They got a code. They have a code.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But what would the media do if he stepped out and broke that code?
Oh, he won't. He's not gonna break the code. He's not gonna break the code.
They're accepting of that type of treatment.
Yeah.
Like
that's how they operate.
That's okay with the
Yeah. Like they're not like it's like that's what happened. Like that is what happened. He understands it. That's the code. The code is you don't break that. That's how we do business. You don't break that. And because especially if he knows it. Can you imagine if he doesn't? Oh, he's not playing again. But he's like, I know I have a career at the very minimum. If I don't say nothing, I'm a career backup. If I don't say nothing. They all been probably no. But Alphonse, no. Alphonse. I'm only saying it from a standpoint. That's reality. Like he could be a
career backup. He could be a career backup anyway if he's outspoken.
No, he won't.
If he was outspoken.
You think if Jared Goff spoke up,
he's not black.
But Alphonse,
but a whole bunch of
you missed my point.
Whites that won't say nothing.
Like it is because he's not black. The fact that he's not black, he knows the game. He's like, I'm not gonna mess up my ride. My ride is okay. I still get my money. I get traded, and I have a career in this. Alphonse, he's not gonna jeopardize a career as a backup. But like the worst case he could do is a backup career, backup quarterback making good money. He's not gonna mess it up because y'all traded me. Like I'm not cool. All right. You know what I'm saying? It's different for us because we don't even have that insurance policy. Like, there's no like, I could do this. If I
would push back and be like, how could you trust that insurance policy if one team just told you that they weren't going to trade you? Why would you trust another team to be like, yeah, you'll be our career backup?
Alphonse, that's how they operate. Like knows
the business.
That's the business. That's the business.
I'm gonna lie to you.
Alphonse, if they will give away Tom Brady, like that's the business.
Who gave away Tom Brady?
No, I'm saying if they're willing to like Tom, you can go. The greatest quarterback of all time. They're like, you can go. I'm saying that's just the business.
But now that's mischaracterizing the thing. Like
what thing?
Tom Brady wanted to go as much as they wanted him to go. That wasn't like a Tom Brady begging. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. Tom Brady wasn't begging to come back. Tom Brady had a number, and he had a number that he was pretty sure they weren't going to meet.
Right.
So that's kind of different than Tom saying, I want to be back in Tampa. I want to be back in New England. And they like, nah. It was one of those like, yeah, it's probably time we just go.
Oh, I'm not talking about emotions, brother. I'm just talking about if they're willing to make the business decision that is better for us as a business move forward without Tom Brady.
Tom's not a good example because they did want Tom back. Tom didn't want to come back because they didn't have they didn't have weapons.
So
he knew they wasn't going to win this year. So
I take my statement back.
Yeah. They wanted Tom back.
Bad example, but to me, it's still business, right? That's just how they operate. Like, it's not. I don't think he would speak out because it does him no good. How about that? I'll boil down that. If he speaks out, it's not going to help him.
I think if we want to continue to use New England and Tom Brady didn't speak out because they always held his back. And the moment they stopped having his back, he started to break away and become more outspoken. And so my thing is,
that's not a good example.
But it's not a good example because he's Tom Brady at the same time. Like,
right.
I'm sorry, I removed my example. It was a terrible example because it's Tom Brady. Like, it's like
I don't know because they defended him on Spygate.
Because that's better example is Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn gets all the money. He comes to town and like, yeah, we got this cheaper black boy to do what you do better. So cool. I'm talking about this business. Like Matt Flynn didn't go on a rampage. Like, why Russell? Maybe he did. I don't know, but I don't recall Matt Flynn going on a campaign like, this nigga stole my job. He was like, all right, cool. Business. I'm only speaking from a business perspective. Like, I don't foresee, he may be upset vocally because he already knew going into this is the business. Like, he probably got his job based off some stuff.
So what about Carson Winston?
I mean, that's Philly, baby.
But that just blows the whole quiet thing out.
No, still business. It's still business.
He wasn't quiet.
And they got his ass up out of there.
Yeah, business.
I'm so confused.
What you want?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Business.
I'm so confused.
Don't be. It's business. Just watch The Godfather.
Oh man.
Just watch The Godfather. That's how they operate.
Yeah,
One big mafia. It's one big mafia.
But now that we're on that seriously talking about that, so he gets shipped to the Colts for a third this year and a conditional second next year that could turn into a first. I mean, I am kind of shocked that it's only a third this year, but then I'm not because I saw Carson Wentz play, so I'm not that shocked. But I just wonder what Carson Wentz has to be feeling. Like Jared Goff went for because they was in the same draft, right? Wentz and Goff, 2018.
I think Wentz was like the year after. After, I think.
Yeah, you might be right. Either after or before.
Yeah, I don't think they was in the same one.
Well, Wentz wasn't the number one draft pick. It was in the same one. Yeah, Wentz was 2, right?
Yeah, back to back.
Was
2. It was 1-2.
Yeah.
So the person who got drafted above you, who you probably think you're better than, went for 2 number ones. Right? No.
To who again?
No. Matt Stafford went for 2 number ones.
Yeah, what to say? No.
And you couldn't. You got.
Oh, that's what I was. When you said that earlier, I'm like, who the hell you comparing that to? Because it was like, ain't nobody else get no good deal as a quarterback. Like, they wanted Matthew Stafford. They got rid of. They were that willing to get rid of Goff that they came to them 2 first-round draft picks to get Matthew Stafford. So, like, I don't think it's a bad trade. I think both sides really got a good deal. The 3rd round, yeah, I think you could be like, give me that first because the Colts picking like 20-something. But the Eagles really just wanted to get it done. They just wanted to get them out of there. So they did that. I want to know what the conditions are to get it to be a first round. Like, does the Eagles have to suck or
no?
The Colts?
The Colts have to do well. So he has to play 75% of the snaps, or he plays 70% of the snaps, and the Colts go to the playoffs.
Wait, he got to play 70% or what again?
70%, and the Colts go to the playoffs.
And then the Colts got who gives up the first round pick?
The Colts give the second round pick, then becomes a first round pick next year. So if Wentz plays 80% of the snaps, it.
Oh, so the Colts do well. The Eagles get a first round pick?
Yes.
Or if he plays most of the season?
Yes. I believe.
Man, he ain't playing for 2 games.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
2 games. He ain't playing no goddamn. He ain't getting nowhere near 75%. No, they're going to put Jacoby Brissett in for like 5 of them games just to make sure he misses.
He going to get hurt.
Because if he
they ain't not giving him no first round pick for no Wentz. Would you?
Then why make the trade? You're making a trade because you think you have a good quarterback.
I think it's more probable that they that turns into a first. They had Buffalo like on the ropes. They should have beat Buffalo. Actually, that was play calling. That was on the coaching. So, as long as he can minimize his turnovers, which is a big if, he's playing more than 75% of the snaps.
I was going to say they also didn't have.
And they have a strong offensive line too. Like the Eagles don't have an offensive line anymore. That's why he was so injury prone. Well, I'll take that back because they did have an offensive line when they did get hurt. But as far as this being trash, like he was legit trash, but he didn't have a lot of time to throw at the same time. So we'll see what they do with defense, run the ball, just basically make him not matter. Like your job is to hand the ball off and throw and play action.
I actually think, that was his first year with the Eagles when they went to the Super Bowl, whatever year that was. That's exactly what he did. Like, he wasn't making plays like that he had to make so they can win the game. He was making a couple of scramble plays here and there, but the team was really defense and running the ball, that type of thing. So I think it will be beneficial for the Colts like that, but I don't think the condition, he might get hurt. I think he might get hurt. Not based on anything. I just think he might.
But if he gets hurt,
then based on last time he got hurt, yeah.
No,
Right.
I
then
mean
your
like so
season
you won't give up
as a
that pick.
Colts are done.
No,
I mean, Jacoby Brissett isn't that bad.
look who they
thought he could
playing
do it, then they wouldn't have
Texans.
gone to go get Wentz.
Look, they playing the Texans and the Jags twice. So that's
He was
4
doing that
games
this
that you're
year.
gonna win.
They was doing that this year.
And they made the playoffs. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they didn't win the
And they had-
division.
Because the
they-
Titans.
Bills on the
So wait.
So
all
they
right.
lose to the Titans.
So if they make the playoffs,
They're gonna make
if they
the
make
wild
the playoffs,
card.
then the pick goes to a first round pick.
You said 70%. I'm saying he's not gonna make. He probably won't make that 70%.
And I'm saying if you don't make 70%, they're not making the playoffs.
I think it will.
Right.
I think they can make the playoffs without that.
So you think they can make the playoffs without him?
Yeah.
So if they make the playoffs without him, does that pick go to them around, or it has to be with him doing some good stuff too? Like they just can't make the playoffs.
It has to be with him. So if the thing has to be down, if he plays 70%, right, that's the floor. If 70%, then they have to make the playoffs. But if he plays 80%,
he has to play 12 games.
Yeah, he'll play 12 games.
I don't think they're gonna do
He
that.
said no.
'Cause I think what sounds to me is to me it sounds like they got a dependable backup quarterback for a 3rd round pick. Plus whatever the other thing is, if it does it. Like it seems like I don't.
A second and a
like
third.
Wait,
well, yeah, it's fine.
have
But
y'all
he's a
been-
solid
wait,
backup.
you think Carson Wentz used
That's a
himself
lot.
as a backup?
That's a lot.
No. I'm saying
That's a lot for a
no.
backup.
What I'm saying, at the very minimum, insurance policy. At the very minimum, like if this doesn't work, if it blows them in their face, they got a tradable asset who's a backup quarterback if we need to. At the very I'm talking about the baseline, right?
No,
The ceiling is
the baseline. You have a disgruntled worker who's going to come in there, and your defense might have to punch in the face because he won't shut up about how he thinks
I don't know about
better
that.
than the quarterback.
I don't know about
that's
I don't think he goes
I
so
don't think he'll
close
come
to
like
do
I don't think
that.
he'll come like an a-hole. How you gonna come there like an a-hole? You don't have
That's part of the reason he's out of Philly because he was an a-hole
Yeah.
about it.
But it's also
because
because
different though.
yeah, it's different. You got drafted
Because they lied to him about being the starter, being the man, and playing, and then they
so,
were like
Hold on.
jerking
So
him
you don't
around
think-
with him.
First defense, he was
And
an
he's
a-hole
telling
before that.
him, yo, you will come in here and you go battle it out for the starting job? Or you think they telling him this is your job to lose?
Well, no, tell him it's his job. It is his job to lose. It is.
It's his
So
job.
then he's not going to go be a backup.
But if he loses it,
minimum. Yeah.
He lost it in
he
Philly.
loses it. Yes,
Right.
but they wasn't telling him, oh, you're
Why they
going to
gotta
be
tell
the
you you
backup.
sucking?
They were telling him you should start. After you get off your injury, you're going to start. And he didn't do that. That's why he was upset. They lied to him. And so then when he goes to the locker room, they're like, this is a bullshit. I'm supposed to be playing. And then he's ripping the team apart because he's telling half the team he should be playing. And the other half of the team like, no, your ass is sorry as hell, so you don't need to be out there. And it was all messed up. So that's why they had to get rid of him. Now, if he goes to the Colts and he does the same thing, it goes back to what we were talking about golf. Like, he's going to have to understand that he's not going to play anymore. Nobody's going to want him. He's not that good of a quarterback. And he's got all these problems on top of it. So if he goes to the Colts and starts doing the same thing, he's done. So he's not going to do that. He's going to say, okay, I lost my job. Let me sit here and make my $10 million a year and not do a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't there rumblings of him being an a-hole before that, though? Like, even during that season when he was an MVP, like, the locker room wasn't really vibing with him.
Yeah, I mean,
They probably like him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the talk was he puts his faith out there and tries to convert you. Whereas you put that with the contrast was Nick Foles, who same level of faith, but he would only put it out there if you came to him like, yo, Nick, I got this issue. What you think? Da 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 da. Nick be like, well, you know, gee da da da, geez, boop de whoop. Whereas Carson Wentz coming to the locker room like, yo, guess what I read today, man? In a good book, that kind of those type of things, and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So
Yeah.
That's,
Is he from Utah?
I would need to hear a lot more.
he's from North Dakota, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
Went
that's
to
where he
school in
played.
North Dakota. I don't know where he's from.
He's somewhere from.
Oh, he from Raleigh. He Bible Belt. Yeah.
Is he also like?
Yeah.
He's also
Tebow
like
did
Team
that.
MAGA too, right?
What you say, Jen?
He's also MAGA too, right?
I
Oh, I don't know.
don't know about
I mean, Raleigh, North Carolina, and then North Dakota, man. 2 plus 2, 3.8, 3.9. Might be 4 sometimes. Pay for
Say, like,
the
the
so.
Caucasian.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
that's
all the
another.
Caucasians on football, they're MAGA. Probably all of them.
all of them. See?
All.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Look at the Caucasians on the football team. They're like offensive linemen, they're like kickers, quarterback. That's
Nah,
MAGA.
what's the boy that just what's the new boy that
Chris
got
Long
hurt?
was the only one.
No, I mean it's
Who's
gonna be
about to
like
Joe
3 or
Burrow,
4
baby.
maybe.
Joe Burrow, man. He played AAU basketball, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Still not Joe Burrow.
No,
Joe Burrow.
not Brother Burrow.
Nah,
Not
Joe
Brother
Burrow.
Burrow. Nah, I can't get. I mean,
Joe
I ain't gonna
down
put
for the
past
poke.
none of them. But ain't whatever. But I'm saying,
Like he might not wear the hat, but I bet you.
Nah.
You look at that vote.
Nah.
So say Donald Trump.
So,
when he
Joe
get
Burrow
home,
falls in that
it's all
class.
I can't
Trump.
argue.
He ain't gonna wear the
I
hat
can't
though.
argue that was Steve. Hey,
So let me ask you this, Steve.
I'm on.
How many of those offensive linemen play basketball? Like real good at playing basketball?
With the white
Or
ones,
quarterbacks. Yeah, the white ones. The ones that you just listed might be MAGA. Low percentage,
play
right?
basketball,
Yeah.
or like, what do you mean by play? Like, are they good at it, or do they
basketball?
play?
Like, could have been going to college for basketball.
Like
Man.
good.
Joe
Hooping
Burrow
with
they're,
brothers.
they're professional football players, like
So
the
again,
ones that
right.
some of them put like that. Some of them.
So my thing is, Joe Burrow grew up playing basketball, all the shit around black people. I don't think he's MAGA. Like,
And he's the point guard. Like he ain't just playing any old.
I don't think he's MAGA.
I'm still on Team Steve side. I ain't saying he MAGA. I'm just saying I ain't saying he ain't MAGA.
Ohio, didn't Ohio? They were like 67% Trump.
But that's what I'm saying. Normally, yes, but he was in the poor black part of town.
I'm just
Hey, so all the other MAGA folks get their money. That's where they get the money at.
And
He had no money.
He was tweeting about it.
You ain't listen. You've been out on football for a while, so you ain't listened to his speech. The nigga, he was broke. All right, he was po too.
They all po. All the MAGA folks is po.
Donald Trump won the South, bro. Everybody in the South, all the white folks.
They marched from the Capitol. They was in debt.
Ohio
white
ain't in the
folks voted
South,
for Trump.
Steve. So which one is it? Like, is Joe
Ohio
Burrow?
ain't the South?
I said ain't in the South.
No, I heard you say it. I repeated what you said. That's South.
Y'all talking about Canada.
That ain't number of the street.
He went to LSU, and he's an LSU like legend right now. You think they gonna be okay with him? He's not going to be boisterous about voting for Biden. I know that. If he did, he's not going to be boisterous about it. But I guarantee he voted. I guarantee he's a MAGA dude because he was happy at Louisiana. Like he loves it at LSU.
Shreveport. Not New Orleans.
Okay, so what about Sunshine? Y'all think he Team MAGA too?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I just ain't putting past none. I don't know. I
church,
I don't
he's
know.
like the youth pastor at the mega church. Yes. He up there talking about y'all better pray for Donald Trump. Y'all don't listen to tell voter fraud out here. Pray for him.
All right, I'm done.
Hey, I'm with it. Let's go.
Silly.
So what we saying?
75 million votes. It's from somebody. I'm telling you.
That's a lot of people.
No,
indeed. But I was heading into talking about the Australian Open. Last night we had the women's semifinals, and Naomi Osaka defeated Serena Williams. I think it was 6-4, 6-3.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think that's what it was. And I hate every time Serena loses, man. And I hope we don't fall into that trap of it's like, oh man, she lost to the number 2 player in the world, but by everybody's eyes, the number 1 player in the world. man, Serena's falling off a cliff. The sky is falling. Woe is me. Woe is me. It's like, yo, did y'all watch any of the matches before she lost? And then did you watch the match last night? It wasn't like Osaka raised her level and showed why she's the best player in the world. It wasn't like Serena gave her the match and was spewing errors everywhere. Serena broke her in the first set, and then Osaka went on won 4 straight games. In the second set, I think I put it in the chat. Serena broke Osaka to tie the game at 4. Actually, I think it was 6-4, 6-4, as a matter of fact. She tied it at 4. The next one, Osaka broke her at love, and it wasn't like Serena double faulted. No, Osaka was like, all right, refocus. I'm going to hit these great shots. So I just hate the narrative that because Serena lost to someone who was playing at the top of her level and consistently does that. Like, she's not a flash in the pan who got hyped to beat Serena. It was like, no, this is my consistent level in the semifinals of a major, and Serena just happens to be on the other side. So that bit of extra, it's like there's no nuance when people watch it. It's just like, oh, she lost, so sky's falling. She didn't get that 24. So I don't know. What do you guys' thoughts on that?
You ever played Gears of War Horde? It's like when you start off, you just need to dominate motherfuckers. And it's simple. You show up, you young, you just beat. Stage 5, you still beat. Like, damn, motherfucker, dope as shit. And stage 10, it's a little tougher, but you still the champion. You still go to US Open, you still go to the French. You might dabble a couple times. You get a little, you know what I'm saying, get a little wins with the one, but then you come back to Australian reset, like, that's my home, I'm gonna go do that shit. But then it hit like level 25. And then it feel like you fighting your former self. But your former self is your former self when it's younger and it's smarter. Because it knows what you're going to do. Because it's been doing number watch you for 24 boards. So the watch you for all 24 boards is a lot younger, and it comes in with that education. That's all. That's the only problem. She's in a different stage of the game, and now she's fighting herself. It's like, yeah, you're 40, you're fighting your 20-year-old self. So, you'll get some of them, but more likely, you won't. It don't mean you're bad. It's just you playing your former self. So you fighting all baby goats. That's all it is. That's how it's gonna be from here on out. It was simple before because you was a young one, beat the hell out of Steffi Graf, made her retire. All the other names you forgot. Like, we've forgotten all female only. Like, you go from like Venus, Serena, Billie Jean King. You know how many women she's beaten? Where the next person you think of as a female tennis player, woman tennis player, is Billie Jean King. They had like Steffi Graf. They had Monica Seles. Who was the one girl? Hingis.
Capriati.
All of them. Arantes, Sanchez, Vicario. All these teams come from my future, from my childhood that I just kind of forgot because it was Venus and Serena. That's what happens. And now she's fighting the younger version of herself. So, hey, fall off? No, but it's like, how long you think she's going to keep 300 people? Like, at a certain point, it is how it is. And that's especially in tennis. Are you still playing? First off, you still playing? And you had a child? Why are you still? What?
And you're still great.
Semifinals?
You're not a slouch.
Pam, this lady who retired. This lady that retired at the age of 27 because she just kept getting her ass kicked for 7 years. It's a hard ass sport. Her biggest win year was like 300,000. She made 1.1 million, and like they made it's a tough ass sport. So if they do frame it that way, they're just being callous. Like, it's like you're not appreciating what you're saying. Because there's no way possible. You're like, you can't do what Max Kellerman did for Brady for all them years. You cannot do that with it. Like, you can't say, here comes the cliff. Like, no, I'm playing tennis well beyond the cliff. I'm literally floating on air with this. So it's not even applicable to her. She's the greatest. She's the greatest. She's literally the greatest of all time. There's no women, man. There's no, like, you've never seen this. And I would have had more if I didn't have my DNA beside me, taking away my chances.
Yeah.
If there's only one Williams, what? If it was only one of them, what are we talking about? You don't know what?
I mean, isn't that what made her the greatest?
No, of course. I understand. It's life, so you can't say which one would be better. But I can just imagine, bro. Just imagine if she was the one.
If you take away Serena, Venus might be the greatest.
Of course. Yeah. But Serena had it all to herself, though. Because she was doing shit at 15 then. Because she was losing at 16 to her sister.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say it was a cliff, but I'm gonna say she's over the hill.
Yeah, okay.
It's
over
time,
the summit.
and she can't handle it. She doesn't handle it well. Like she feels it. I think she feels it, and she doesn't handle it well. That's why she got so emotional at the press conference, because it's like
I got to counter.
It's like when on the movie Muhammad Ali, it was Will Smith, and he was boxing, and he was like, "Come on, legs, move," and the legs wasn't moving like they used to. I think she's getting some of that. She's getting it where her mind remembers, oh, you can run over there and do that. You can do this, and you're strong when you do that. And now her body's like, nah, not no more. And so now she's dealing with, I can beat her, but I can't beat her.
Right.
And she doesn't know how to deal with that emotionally.
Okay,
So I don't think her skills are falling off, but Father Time is still undefeated.
I disagree. Like, we talking about the semifinals. We're not talking about the first round. So
well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a cliff. I don't think it was a cliff.
But it's not even, to me, it's not even a hill. It's more like a plateau. And we so used to her going up. It's a she's just flattening out.
She is over the summit. Like, we're not gonna act like, no, she's over the summit. She's hit the peak and she is coming down. But the coming down is still the upper echelon of the sport. And also, I kind of got to speak up for the sisters when we say not handling it well. Who's ever been in this space? Like, and how do we know that isn't handling it well? Like,
yeah, well, that was
like, she's not like. I think she is handling it well. Like, everything we list out, everything she's dealing with, to me, that is handling it well.
So the other thing is, like, when we say we don't handle it when they're not handling it well, the other option is they don't say anything. And then we complain about that. So, like, because I don't know. I thought that didn't look like that's somebody who, you know.
What I mean is she was not handling it well. I mean, she's gotten emotional about it. Like, she sees it and she feels it, and she can't do anything about it. So the only thing that she could do was leave in that conference, because she knows that it's coming to an end soon. Like, you know, it's not much that you can say to that. And they're just going to keep asking her the same questions different ways. Like, when are you going to retire? And so it was just time to leave. But being emotional about it it's just further letting you know it's about time. Because if she felt like, oh, I just had a bad game, I could be back next time, she wouldn't have been emotional about it. She's like, oh, you know, whatever.
I feel you. Steve, I feel what you're saying, but what I'm trying to, my only counter is that, but when someone is in that moment and they realize it, what you're saying, true, like you're saying she's realizing that the door is about to close, right? And is that struggle with that? How else do you handle it better? Like I said, like my only hang up is on the not handling it well. I think that's the best you can ask for. Or in that moment.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know how else to articulate that response. Like, you would expect her to just sit there and just grovel in the moment and just take all the questions and just get punched to death. But I don't know how else you deal with it, but that's how she dealt with it. And I don't think she dealt with it well, as far as saying she was emotional about it. Not that she should have done something different. She was just like, I gotta go. And she was about to cry. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if she should have just sat there and took the questions as far as dealing with it, but emotionally she got caught up, which she's entitled to do. That's fine. But she just didn't deal with it well as far as that. That's what I'm saying.
What's up, Brother Lou?
He's early for the next show.
My bad. What's up, fellas? What's up?
What's that? Chilling.
So, yeah.
And Brother Shannon, too. Acknowledge Brother Shannon. What's happening?
So they'll be playing that. I think, they play that tomorrow night.
Who the other woman?
American. I was just about to talk about the American who's in there.
That's not the Buffalo Bills' granddaughter, is it? It's the other girl?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Buffalo Bills' granddaughter?
Yep. She won last night. So she'll be in the final against Osaka.
What day is that? I'm gonna watch that one. I couldn't watch Serena.
Saturday
I
morning.
couldn't, and it's funny. I couldn't watch Serena because I knew what Steve was saying. It's reality. I can't watch that. I can't watch that.
I mean, look,
I ain't trying to watch. You ain't trying to watch Mufasa fall off the cliff. Like you ain't trying to watch.
It's Jordan with the Wizards, dog. It's Jordan with the Wizards.
It's not Jordan with the. This is
I
what
was
not Jordan with the Wizards, man.
Jordan put up 50 with the Wizards, but it was still Jordan with the Wizards.
No,
Don't forget he was an all-star that year, the first year.
All-star. He was still good. He just wasn't Jordan good.
Was he a top 10 player in the league?
No. That's what I'm saying, man. It's not Jordan with the Wizards. Like, Jordan was not on the same level with his NBA peers as Serena is right now. The only reason she's not in the top 10 is because they have these weird ranking rules about how much you play, not because of sheer ability.
It's a team game. Basketball's a team game. The Wizards are terrible. If he was on a good team, they would have been in the playoffs and would have been losing because Michael's missing the last second shot. Like,
we spent the first half of this podcast talking about top players in the league, and we did not say anything about their team. Nope. Top players in the league. We chastised KD because being as a top player, he didn't take the hard route. And now we go come back and say, oh, well, the NBA is a team game. Nah, man, we rank players based on individual ability. Jordan was not top 10 in the league in 2003. That's not debatable. Serena is at the top of her game, even on the downslope out. Even if you want to use that term, she's still
name a 10. Name a 10. Name a 10.
He gonna go down with the goat. He going down with the goat. Name him.
Name the 10. How many scored 50 that year?
Let's name him.
Hey, my guy.
10 of them.
Hey, my guy. Brandon Jennings scored 55 in the game once. Let's not do 50. Let's not do scoring 50 as making you a great.
He wasn't 40 years old.
Did he do it in 20?
He was a rookie. He was a rookie. He was on the other end.
Was it 2003 though?
As a matter of fact, it might have been in that range. I don't remember when Brandon Jennings was in the league.
Oh, hold up. Oh, that's the draft. Okay. Whew. Well, say, wait, that can't be the top players. 2003. Top 50 NBA players, 2003 or 2004. Are we talking about 2003, 2004, 2002, 2003?
Oh, now we got to start splicing it.
No.
Is it that many of? Is it that much of a?
No, they got different lists by that. I'll make sure I get the right season.
It was 02, 03.
02, 03. Okay, right. One second. Top NBA players, no 203. Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Jason Kidd, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, Paul Pierce, Dirk Nowitzki, and then it gets to Shawn Marion. So,
whoa.
I mean, I'm taking Jordan over Shawn Marion. I mean, I know Shawn Marion was a beast when he was younger, but he's still Michael Jordan. Because like you got Shawn Marion, Chris Webber, Dwayne O'Neal, Ben Wallace.
On defense in 03.
What'd you say?
That's one side of the ball.
Perk it up, baby. It's a blind spot episode. Come on, man. Get energy up.
I can't.
It's a blind spot.
I can't do it, man. I specifically came here so I didn't have to do the.
So what's Serena's ranking? What's the ranking right now?
Well, you can't do that because that's the rules, Steve. You can't do that. You gotta put how you feel.
No, because I'm really just fucking around with it. But what's Serena's? What's a?
So if you asking me her ranking, like
no, I'm talking about the real ranking. I'm not asking you about the real ranking.
The real ranking is 10. No, is it 7?
It's 11.
10.
It's 11. It's 11.
So in this thing, she was
10.
Yeah.
So they had to say, okay, you need to go put him before or after Shawn Marion. That's 10 and 11. He ain't wrong. He might not be right.
So my point is, she's only 10 because of those weird rules. Yeah, between the 5 of us, we can't name the other 10 players on the women's tour. Between the 5 of us.
Dre, you put Jordan on that Suns team. They're not winning as many games as they are with Shawn Marion. Stop it.
What?
They gotta play a whole different brand of basketball.
Oh gosh.
You think Jordan can't do that?
You go too far. You go too far.
Yeah, you disrespect Jordan now. It was only
God.
Don't remember. No, you can't. There'll be no GOAT disrespect.
Blind spot.
Defenders. He's Jordan.
My point is Serena's closer to the top 5 of tennis right now.
In
Y'all need to
02,
go back
03,
and
I
ask
think
his
I'm
teammates
taking
just how
Sean
good he
Murray
was and how they felt
Michael
about it.
Jordan.
Thank you, Lou, with some levity to the
I
situation.
think I'm taking Sean Murray. Even though
Oh, wow.
Jordan hit
He
his
a
shot
Kobe
on
fan.
Sean Murray in the
That's
All-Star
strong
game.
right there.
You say? What you say, Shannon?
That's just Jordan hate.
I mean, we know
Move
Lou
along.
got a blind spot. He still says Sean Marion. Come on, man.
I'm gonna take Sean Murray.
This is blind spot.
Y'all need to
In
stop it.
02,
Y'all doing
03,
too much.
yeah, definitely. Did you
doing
even
too
say
much.
Vince on that list? Was Vince in the what was that? That was top
he was
9.
on that list.
He's not on the list. Vince is
I'm taking
5
Vince
spots
over
above
Michael Jordan
Jordan.
in 02, 03. I'm taking ISO Joe over Michael Jordan 02, 03.
All right, now we're being disrespectful.
I don't think it's disrespectful.
How is that
02,
disrespectful?
03, 40-year-old Michael Jordan.
He's Michael
Like,
Jordan.
nah.
He's Michael Jordan.
Oh, my God.
I
02,
was
03
joking.
Jordan.
I was joking. We get serious. I was joking. Could not take it.
I was riding.
Hey man, you can't take Jordan's like the bomb. You can't pull the trigger. You think
I
you can
just
pull the
got
trigger
the
and throw it in there? Nah, man.
Steve had the car runners. I just jumped on in. Where we going? I don't know. All right, let's get in.
Mhm.
You don't know what Sean Marion? Cool, that makes sense.
Earlier, forgot to talk about the All-Star rosters that came out tonight.
Before we get there, hold on, because I'm on the sideline. I didn't know they was really having a game. I thought what the protest?
Oh, they were boycotting it. Boycotting it. What happened there? What?
Yeah, they throwing rocks. They was throwing rocks.
Look,
My light was out for 2
they
days.
named him
Paul told
captain.
him, "You
Just
gonna get
because
your
you
ass at the bottom of that boat. I'm gonna take you to America." Chris Paul wasn't playing with them. Like, fuck. Y'all ain't see Chris Paul interview after the day after LeBron and them. Bron and Fox said they didn't want to go.
Nah,
Easy.
I didn't see that.
We're gonna get it together and
My lights was out for 2 days. Had to.
No, this was last week. But yeah, Chris Paul said, yeah, don't worry about it. Godfather's gonna make sure that they're there. I mean, he didn't say that literally, but yeah, he wasn't worried.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, they gotta get the the new people. They gotta get paid, man. You can't stop the game because the old people that done it a few times don't want to go. You got the new people trying to get in, and then they get their new checks. Can't mess up the money.
Mess up the money.
Yeah.
So it's everything happened at one time? So what
One night.
So
One
like,
night only.
The early stuff is at like, what is it, like 5:30 or 7:30? And then the game
The
starts
skills competition before the game, dunk contest at halftime.
at halftime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't mess up the checks.
No rookie game. No rookie sophomore game.
Yeah, you can't mess up the checks. Everybody gotta get paid because people who work in the arena gotta get paid. People who will do parking now gotta get paid.
I mean, it's a stock.
It's in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta too.
It's in Atlanta,
Yeah,
so look, we was gonna go with the unspoken. Like
It's open.
That's what stimulate some of the
Atlanta's
economy
open.
right there.
Stimulate that COVID variant folk about to pop off. About to get an ATL variant. About to be what's that
But
NBA
do you
All-Star.
think that many people from out of town are going to go?
Yes.
That many people?
Yes.
Oh, look,
Yes.
they're building a dome. Somebody's building a dome to have a party in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Look at Isaac Hayes III's IG. He's trying to get folks not to go outside.
Yeah.
And he looked like he know he was losing that battle. He's like, look, come on, y'all, don't go outside.
It's in Georgia, man. They already been partying in Georgia.
Yeah, that's where everybody goes.
They were partying at the Pete.
How many people from out of town do you think are going to go?
Oh, no, a lot.
All them people that want to go.
You ain't seen any folks like, I'm from Philly.
A lot of people probably just go drive in for the night.
They doing that last weekend. It's the only place to go.
Oh, like
People from Philly go down to Georgia. New Jersey, they go to Georgia. Everybody going to Georgia. It's not. I'm not. This is life. They definitely gonna come down when the money in town.
Yeah.
Bringing the workers
They
too.
went to Tampa.
Just watch all the IG lives. Because they're gonna be there. It's gonna be all a bunch of IG lives spreading COVID. There's gonna be a bunch that.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't hear about a lot of people going to Tampa.
But that's
all those people.
I'm just saying, I didn't hear a lot of people going to Tampa. Me personally, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but
that's cultural though. Like we ain't going to no damn Super Bowl. Not
let's go to Super Bowl.
Huh?
Cool.
No,
It wasn't a good Super Bowl
saying,
though. That wasn't a kick at Super Bowl though.
No, people go to Super Bowl, but the Black Super Bowl is the NBA All Star.
No, I'm shocked.
Yeah,
it was. I have the Florida State connections on the Twitters. Yeah, it was a lot of parties in Tampa. Shit was wild.
Really?
It was all in the streets. Everything. It was normal. Like it was at the bar hopping and everything. No mask. But it's Florida so they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
No.
You on mute. Greasy. What?
Oh, he didn't.
I can't.
Your piece.
Nope.
Nah, still can hear you.
Nope.
Can't hear you.
Nope.
Not sure what it is. Someone ain't picking up.
There you go. Check it now.
You hear him?
Now try. Nope.
Nope. Nah, that ain't it. They ain't do it.
Oh man, you gotta readjust. You gotta reattach your headphones now.
People watching college basketball?
Not really, man. I catch some.
You watching this, Steve?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I just felt like, I ain't watching. I'm like, man, I wonder who's watching this shit.
I can't lie. The college sports this year, I was not as into them as I've been usually. Even college football, like I caught some games, but it wasn't like before. And now with college basketball, like,
hey man,
I don't know if it's like
there it is.
Oh, y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
I don't know if it's because of the like cancellations, but like I am not really into college basketball.
When did the Big Ten turn into the ACC? Like what?
When COVID rolled through the South.
Maybe when they took some teams from the ACC.
Because they got the G League, whatever. It's like 6 top players that went to the G League, straight to the G League, instead of doing a one and done stuff. So Kentucky's terrible, Duke's terrible, and North Carolina's not that good. Oh, UCLA, oh yeah. So that's what's really hurt. And then the Big Ten is kind of like the second from the ACC. So they good at basketball, but not that good. But so when you got the ACC knocked down a notch, yeah, Michigan and Wisconsin, which is all Wisconsin, but yeah,
man, I looked up and Michigan and Ohio State are in the top 5, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Ohio State's pretty good.
So basically, what if you got like senior power, you about to make a run?
Yeah, you got some experience. You got people with experience. Yeah.
But I don't even know what making a run qualifies. Like they playing all the games in Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is really gonna be AAU vibes.
Yeah. Gonzaga's gonna win it though, man. Gonzaga is like a foot above everybody else. And Baylor's close, but they're not
Gonzaga. Say, man, the only thing about it is the one and done aspect of it. Like all it takes is a team to get hot for a half, and then it's bye Zags. So no.
So let me look and see which team has the best point guard and center combination, and I'll get back to y'all.
Gonzaga, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Gonzaga.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like Gonzaga got like 4 people that's going to the league. Like they got 2 that's going to be in the lottery.
It's kind of sad that this year has turned out the way it is because they actually have like a squad
they got a good team
that's worthy of like being noticed on the national stage big time. But it's like they're just not getting the pub this year.
It's like what normally Kentucky would be, but because it's Gonzaga, nobody gets to see it. They got like 6 good players on their team, 6, 7 good players.
How?
Because they get the best players out of the West, and then some Canada folks, and then some stragglers.
They've been good for
internationals.
$8 plus. When was
Yeah.
Adam Morris in there? They've been good since then.
Well, that was
That was
2000 something. That's
Yeah,
what we were talking about
that
earlier.
was like 06, something like that.
shit, 15 years of being good. Like they got to get some.
Yeah, they've been good. They've never been like this dominant. They've always been good, and then like second round of the tournament, see ya.
Yeah. Now I call like a half. They don't have that feel. They have like what,
No, man,
like
they good.
like a
man.
Monstars type of feel. Like oh okay yeah. Like in their little league previous, they may like lose a game to Pacific or some wild shit. They crushing them motherfuckers by 40. I had this shit scroll across ESPN. Gonzaga 52, San Fran 11, or some shit like that. You're like, wait, oh, okay. So that'll be interesting to see. Did anyone? I was trying to think. I felt like there was something else I was thinking about bringing up, but I cannot remember. So I'll open the floor to you guys. Especially Lou, you missed the first part, the NBA part. So if you got something with
Go
the
Nets.
NBA.
That's up 15 right now. Just want to point that out.
I figured you would. That's why I opened the floor up to you.
I mean, I'm just watching the game. I just heard this. I wouldn't know how bad the Lakers have been looking, but look like the Nets look pretty good right about now.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what Kyrie having a bad night. They're still up 15.
You love this. We said that that if AD is not healthy, the Nets are probably going to win it. So
But this game,
no, win the title if Anthony Davis isn't healthy.
He's saying the Clippers.
Nah, he's saying the Nets, no matter what. I thought.
with me,
Yeah.
I don't know that Nets Clippers game.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I found myself rooting for the Clippers.
Oh, don't do that.
I was torn in that game. That was a mean one right there. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm sitting there watching the game like, damn, I really want the Clippers to win, but I wouldn't know in the 7-game series. I would just sit back and watch that. I just appreciate that. But even if it was the Lakers, I just sit back and appreciate it. I'm with seeing the two best teams, and out of those three teams, whatever iteration of the finals would be good. I mean, as long as the Nets are there, really, I'm saying so the Nets are never. I mean, anybody else from the East, it wouldn't be as good as the Nets. I like Philadelphia.
The Sixers?
No,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I like Philadelphia, but it'd be different. It wouldn't be as exciting as the Nets. I mean, the Nets, that's the draw from the East. Anybody else, they're not. Nobody's going to watch.
What's your prediction, though? What's your prediction?
Oh, for the finals? Nets Clippers. Duh. Nets easy, yeah.
So who you got winning? Nets and the Clippers. Who you got winning?
We got see, okay, the Nets aren't a finished product, so I couldn't answer that question. I wouldn't know until we see what the three signings, I think were good signings for what they needed as far as
They're not getting Drummond, man. They're not getting Drummond. Robertson is not going to do anything. He's going to be a good practice player. What are we waiting on? What's the other signing?
Why did they say Drummond? That's Shumpert, Robertson, Noah Vonleh.
I know that's your guy. I'm not going to say nothing about it.
No, I'm just saying.
They just got rid of Vonleh.
Who?
They did. The Nets. That's why they got Robertson. They got rid of Vonleh.
They waived the other player, Percival. Noah Percival. He was the first free agent that they signed.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. Vonleh, none of those three have played yet.
They're not going to play.
I think they will.
I don't know what. They're not getting Drummond, and those guys are not going to be any factors.
Well, Vonleh's going to be their backup center.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No. I think they're gonna roll with this small man group that they get.
I want to see what their final iteration is. So, but yeah, Presley construed. That's a tough one. I don't know. Probably KD enough.
I'm about to say, man, you really on this Clippers ship? You really?
But no,
I
definitely am. I think the Clippers are really good.
That's cool. They could be really good. The Sixers are really good, but we ain't talking
No,
about.
I think the Clippers are a top 3 team in the league, and they're not number 3, in my opinion.
What's that number, sir?
We all entitled to the opinions because
1 and 2. Well, yeah. I say I'm
I
on
think
the
they're
screen.
definitely number 3 from my vantage point. Everybody fully healthy. They're definitely number 3.
I mean, that's like you said, your opinion, but you also talking about then the fan thing comes into it. So, my bad, I'm looking for this dog.
Yeah, so I mean, again,
you look like the Weekend right now. Just
I know, right?
But yeah, so they again, I just think they're gonna have too much fire. Probably be beaten 4 out of 7 times, and you know, Lou, you missed this early. We said they 10-1 against people with 500 records or better. The Nets.
We're gonna go ahead and say 11-1.
Okay, cool. As long as you recognize one of those 11 wins also came against the Clippers.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Which was a really good game down all the way down to the end, but you know.
Yeah, everybody was fully healthy, right? Okay, yeah.
Hey,
I like your subtle jabs here.
Hey, whoa. Everybody was healthy the first game of the season too. So I mean, nobody had to travel anywhere or anything, you know, and we see the formula of how the Clippers would beat the Lakers. But I mean, I guess it was ring night. That's
one team got rings and one team didn't. You know.
Yeah, that's cool too. But I'm just saying. They play basketball. They play a game of basketball, and we see how the Lakers could lose to the Clippers. We just see how the Lakers could lose to the Clippers. I don't know what more could they have done. The Clippers have the formula to beat the Lakers, I think.
Just like they did last year.
But they didn't get a chance to prove it. I mean, they lost. That's not saying.
We noticed that. We noticed they didn't get a chance to prove it.
The Clippers can't beat the Lakers. I mean.
It's not, you know what? No one's saying the Clippers can't beat the Lakers. We're saying that the Clippers have to get to the Lakers, which they haven't shown to do.
Okay, I mean, we'll see when we get there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Or
you ask my opinion.
That's what we said last year. We'll see when we get there. And one group didn't make it.
I mean, the Lakers fans going to hold on to that family. Okay.
You're right. You damn right I'm going to hold on to the ring because as it looking this year, which was also said earlier, I'm damn glad we got that ring because this year is a bit precocious right now in terms of having a strong footing to say the Lakers go repeat. So
Olu did say that, you know, this is going to be a tougher year for y'all.
I mean, it's
hard. All this is hard. Every year they get further down on the board.
Throw that grenade in.
Hold on. With all the okay, all right. Let's let Lakers fans tell it it's a better team this year. So I mean, I don't. No, we retooled. We have so much offensive firepower. We're the number 1 defense team. Okay, but when y'all play the teams,
all right. Let's just I'm talking about the injury. Like, I'm talking about the injury and changes the future.
Even before the injury, I think even before the injury,
they were second in the fucking West. What are you talking about? Second in the West.
And they had the easiest schedule as well. They haven't played no real teams. They're just starting to get into it. I mean, I just think it's not the same as last year. I think teams around them are better than last year, but I mean,
and that's cool. And they still second in the West.
Yeah, that's wonderful with an easy schedule. But okay, all right.
It's always some excuse. Easy schedule.
I'm not giving an excuse. I'm great. They're second in the West. What are their records against the teams that are their number 1 contenders for the championship?
They played the Clippers one time
and got thoroughly beat. I mean, there was no doubt in that game at all.
Hey, the NFL salary cap, the lowest it's going to be is $180 million. It was $175 last year, so actually going up. Did you already talk about that?
Nah. Oh wow! So they made money.
Yep.
Yeah, they made money. They make money all the time.
I mean,
Yeah, I know, but
you was gonna have way too many teams in salary cap hell if it would have got lowered, man.
Yeah, I know, but now it's go change some free agency.
Tell you what happened. The Patriots got too much cap, so they're like, "Oh no, we need to change this shit."
Nobody gonna want to go to the Patriots. Let Matt Stafford tell it. He said
That's because
trade
his coach went back.
Yeah, I know. That's you
Don't
think
they have
I don't know what happened in Detroit, but they didn't get
look at
along. So he was like, "F that." Huh?
Look at him. Look at the coach. Look at Matt Patricia. The excuses he was making. Why would you want to play? Why would you ever want to be around that again?
He won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Man, a lot of coaches won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Oh man,
with the same head
It's
coach.
not like he's not a quarterback coach. He's a defensive coach. So I don't know. I don't know what happened.
you probably just ain't want to be around him at all. Like
exactly.
Your aura is just not what I'm trying to be around. You got bad vibes.
So the Patriots got like what 8 players coming back that was on the they opted out?
They're not all coming back.
Well,
like a couple of them retiring, whatever.
But like who's a linebacker that opted out that was really good? Fuck, I can't remember the name.
Hightower?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna retire. He gonna coach.
All right, so they had Chung. They had. I know their secondary got crushed a lot with opt-outs.
It was a couple of backups, but it was Chung, Hightower, one of the offensive linemen. It wasn't like main people, but it was enough to hurt.
Well, I mean, if it's not the main people, the depth is.
Yeah, that's important, man.
But they lost a lot of people too. So it was like people that were going to start that hadn't been starting because they lost a whole bunch of people to free agency.
Who's the Patriots?
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, I guess we can move into GOAT talk for this week. If anybody had any.
Hold on, real quick. So what's their record against teams that are not over 500?
Who?
The Nets.
The Nets?
Do they struggle with them?
It's like
they play around with them?
and like 5 and whatever their losses.
Yeah, those are them losses they had at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's before the people though. Okay, never mind.
I mean, even the beginning when Harden was there too.
Yeah, they got
when Harden was there?
some losses.
Yeah,
they lost to the Wizards twice.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if they get into the first round, they just take it lightly. Like,
no.
Are they more susceptible?
No.
Okay, all right.
This is
like that.
The 10-1 against people over 500. She lets me know that like once they get to the playoffs, they understand what time it is. Like they're not going to get caught sleeping in the first round. It's not one of those.
It was Cleveland. Cleveland. They had what's name had an awesome game against them and blew them out. Right.
Sexton.
Sexton.
But KD, the big three have only played 7 games together. If that means anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. They just put the graphic up on TNT. Harden and Irvin have played 12 games together.
Yeah, KD gets those games for the protocol, and then these last 3 games he's been out. Yeah.
Where did Diago coach at?
Who?
Yeah, Sanders?
Yeah.
Jackson State.
They play on the 21st, right? They playing. Yeah.
So wait.
February?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing it, but I'm saying that because I just saw on TNT the 25th, Monday, they're playing a Jackson State basketball game. on NBA TV or one of them as top 30 against Grambling State.
Well, you know they're doing the Black College tour.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure Jackson State being on there wasn't by just happenstance.
That's where Mo Williams coaches too.
Nah, I thought he coached in Alabama. I thought he was
he did Alabama. My bad. Okay, you know what I'm thinking. Lindsey Hunter's at TSU.
Yeah, he's at Alabama State or Alabama A&M. One of those.
It's Alabama State where he went to school. Lindsey Hunter coaches TSU.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it is. TSU. I wasn't sure if it was Jackson State or Tennessee State. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, I forgot the SWAC is having football this summer. I mean, not this summer, this spring. I kind of want to dig into that story about Alcorn State opting out and people crying, well, not crying, people saying that it's not opt out on the up and up. And like, what are the rules on opting out? Like, if you cancel your season, are you suddenly not practicing, or can it be practicing but you have to be without coaches? Because that's the thing I was wondering about Howard as well, because they just canceled the rest of their basketball season. Does that mean it's like no more weight room, no more individual workouts? Like, what's the protocol with that? Because if you are still practicing, I can see why other schools would be like, well, you practicing, why aren't playing the season that we have you on the schedule for? So, anybody got any insight on that? I don't know.
That's a good question. I never thought about that.
But practicing is not playing the game. Like a lot of that is the travel and all of that, which that's the fear for the COVID. So, I mean, practice is just practice. But I think probably I know in football what happened this past year was the upperclassmen and the people that wanted to go to the draft, they weren't allowed around the team. And so when they opted out, they had to go. So I'll assume that if the whole team opts out, then the upperclassmen and the people that, aren't going to be with the team the next season aren't with the team. And then it's like normal practice rules during the week. So you can only practice so much time and you can't hit, and you only got so much time in the gym. I mean, in the weight room. So that's what I assume, but that's just going off of what I know about the past.
That makes sense. That makes sense, especially with the upperclassmen and the people leaving.
Yeah.
So, oh, wait. Yeah. So, got off on a little bit of tangent, but my initial question was, anybody have any entries for GOAT Talk this week?
I don't have an entry. But I forgot.
So I don't have an entry per se, but I do have a recommendation. Was listening to the ESPN Daily podcast, not from today, but from earlier this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. And he had Jesse Washington of the Undefeated on. And he was talking about his book with John Thompson. I think it's already out. But definitely I would recommend getting that book. I know it's on my list of books to buy. But he was just telling the stories about John Thompson and kind of, I didn't know, I guess I should have known, but I didn't know he was a kind of a, and to use terms from today, a re-entry specialist working with the DC government. Like I didn't know that. I just thought he went automatically went to, so he went from playing for the Celtics to coming back to DC to work in the DC government as a re-entry specialist to being a guidance counselor / basketball coach at St. Albans, and then went to Georgetown as a coach. Like, okay, because now it makes sense how, I know he was from DC and he grew up in that, but being a re-entry specialist probably made it easier for him to connect with people from the quote unquote street. So just a quick recommendation. Listen to the podcast. It's only like 30, 40 minutes. But then also definitely check the book out. So that's my recommendation for Go Time.
That's solid. It's getting close though, Lou.
It's getting close to what? What's getting closer?
That was the
12.
It's only 16 points, right?
Nah,
18 and was it
18.
You know, when I saw that they were up by 16, came to my mind Shannon Sharp. Like, how much different it would be if it was the other way. And we dropped a dub on them.
You know he coming out with the goat mask on.
Yes, indeed.
Nah, AD didn't play. We weren't healthy tonight. That's going. That's the reason. It's only February, gentlemen. Let's relax. It's a cold night in February. That's all it is.
Nah, that's cool, but
it ain't nothing good.
Joe Harris got 18 on 5 or 6 3-point shooting. Like,
that's what it's supposed to do.
That's the formula. I mean, that's
yeah, I know,
that's
but I mean that's a damn hard formula to beat. Like that's the efficiency he will shoot the 3 with. Look, I'm sorry. That's the efficiency. I don't think there's a team that will be able to beat him 4 out of 7 times. If he's shooting at 5 or 6 from 3 at regularly rate, who's gonna beat them? He's just gonna camp out in the corner.
I mean, he don't have to do that every game either. I don't think it matters.
Yeah. So,
I think it'll be fun to watch. Finals games in the 140s.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go, I don't have a GOAT, but I got a shout out. I want to shout out punk ass Ted Cruz for taking his punk ass to Mexico
Turn that
doing the worst damn shit in Texas since Harvey. Then he blamed it on his daughter like a punk ass instead of just saying, I'm trying to get my ass up out of this cold. He gonna say, oh, my daughters, they said let's go, so I wanted to be a good dad. What a bitch. What a punk ass out of here, man. That's all I wanted to say.
No, man. You
can't even be a good daddy.
That's some.
You gotta throw his daughters under the bus.
Yeah, that's some whack ass shit right there.
Man.
I mean, what else do you expect from them, man?
I don't. Honestly, I'm not even mad at him because I kind of expected it from him.
Yeah. No. I mean, all the lies has been told over all these years. Now they can't lie no more, man. We already know.
I just didn't think he would be cheap on top of it. I thought he would get a private jet and go ahead and hide out.
They were flying
to
coach.
be cheap
That
on
was
top
what
of
was
it.
funny to me.
Coach. He wasn't even in first class.
Like somebody gonna spot you. Ted, what you doing?
They went through the regular airport. I mean, that was I mean,
they got the police to rush him out. Took police officers like 3 or 4 cars off of the streets to rush him to the airport to get out during the snowstorm. Like,
yeah.
Didn't he have police waiting for him to? Oh, you got police waiting for him to get back?
Yeah.
Were they leaving out of Austin?
No, he's in Houston.
He's in Houston. Okay.
Yeah, going out of George Bush Airport.
So, Steve, this sidebar right quick. You actually kind of designated yourself as a new person to Houston by calling it the George W. Bush Airport. Old Town Houston calls that Intercontinental, for the record.
I know. I just put it George Bush because he was Republican.
Yeah.
Similar to the way people in DC, you don't call it Reagan, you call it National or DCA.
Yeah, nah.
It's the airport.
Or just the airport, but newbies be like, oh, can you take me to Reagan? National?
Yeah, National. I'll make a point of saying National, yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't, I wish I thought of this off the top of my head, the opposite of GOAT talk. Because Ted Cruz is definitely the first member into that. But yeah, I don't have anything else, fellas. So I think that's a very appropriate note to end on. You know, fuck Ted Cruz. But thank you for listening to another episode of Jive Time Turkeys. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, peace.
Go Nets.
Mhm.